How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. I just got some sad news.
Oh,
Some terrible sad news.
yes.
Sorry, the pop figure of Eddie is sold out. I didn't even know it existed. I thought it was too soon.
The Stranger Things Eddie Munson Target exclusive edition, number 1205.
Yes?
Yeah, it's sold out everywhere.
1250.
Oh,
But
1250.
yes. But I was
Sold out.
looking up there at yours, and you've got Robin from last year.
Yes.
And
Sailor Robin.
I don't have Eddie. I don't have Eddie. Anyways.
It's the only Stranger Things pop I have, and not because like she's my favorite character or anything. I just think it's one of the cooler Stranger Things pops they've made. Though they
I
did
think she's a great character.
No, yeah. I'm just saying I'm not playing favorites.
Yeah.
But I did notice recently that they have these like 80s looking ones. They're like they have 11 in the mall outfit
Yeah.
with like neon colors in her hair, and they have Dustin. Those ones are pretty cool, but yeah. I wouldn't mind having the Eddie Munson one too. That's pretty cool. He's got his guitar and everything.
Yeah.
And the Hellfire shirt on.
Anyways, since we last recorded, you've leveled up. You had a birthday.
Oh no, let's not talk about that.
Why? You didn't like your party?
No, I loved it. I loved it. Dead Cells Party. That was hard to pull off. There's not a lot of.
Yeah, it was a Dead Cells theme, which is a video game, and it's got like lots of bright colors and.
It's not any video game. It's a video game that I personally have an embarrassing amount of hours logged onto. Right? It's one of those you start over if you die, like roguelite, but it has some progression in that you unlock weapons that you can then find more of.
Mm. And your character's a little fireball, but it's like a pink fireball / red fireball guy. He's just a head, but then it like hooks to a body. I thought it was pretty fascinating and like visually appealing. So I was like, oh, I can hang a bunch of jars from the chandelier. I can
Yeah, it was awesome.
So I tried.
It was a really cool theme. And you have like a history of doing that for me is doing themes that like are literally impossible. Like when we lived in Spring Hill, Tennessee, you did a Last Starfighter birthday, which is not a very, like a lot of people my age know what The Last Starfighter is, but it wasn't a huge blockbuster movie, and it's, kind of fallen away. It's not like as culturally famous as Neverending Story.
Yeah.
But it's in that same realm of movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I love that movie. And you did me a birthday. You even found me like a Last Starfighter coloring book on eBay or something. Completely insane. But yeah, you did a great job on it. I think it's probably the reason I've spent so many hours on it is it's got some of the best. It's a 2D side-scrolling beat-em-up game, but it has some of the best controls of any game that I've ever played in my life in terms of like, there's very little latency between the control input that I make on the controller and what the character does on screen.
Yeah.
Which
that's a big thing.
For me it is, because I get really frustrated if I feel like, I press the button too late or I press the button too early. But they also built in, which I think is pretty genius. I've watched this video about it. They built in this kind of like error handling for human reaction time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it feels so good, is because really I'm still pushing the button too late or too early, but they're guessing that that's what I meant to do. And they're going with player intention trumping actual input.
That's cool.
Sometimes that can lead to like some wonky things, like I'm trying to jump through the floor, but I'm jumping up instead. But that's pretty rare in comparison to like, falling off of cliffs and stuff. So it's really interesting, fascinating how they went about that. And it's like milliseconds, frames of animation that they're going, well, if they're at this point and it's the edge of a thing, it's probably true they're trying to jump.
Yeah.
Right.
That's fascinating because I like watching you play video games and I like watching, the video game itself and you playing. But there are times where there's a part that's frustrating and you go, I pushed the button. I'm pushing it.
I pushed the fucking button. What the hell? Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's funny.
There's nothing in the world that frustrates me more than failing at a video game when I know I shouldn't have. Like,
yeah. Yep.
like Mario is the biggest offender of this for me. Like, I know that I did the jump right. Why am I falling? Why am I falling right now? I know I hit the jump right. Clearly I didn't, right? But in my mind, I'm like, no way.
Yeah.
And then it's just frustrating and it keeps happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's part of the reason I like Dead Cells 2 is death matters, but it doesn't really.
Well, that's cool.
Right? Because you just start again. The game is just starting over, loop, loop.
Constantly, right?
Anyways, yeah. So I'm 48 now.
Yay.
Level 48.
Applause. Sound.
I didn't find any like upgraded gear this year.
Oh.
Yeah, just all the drops I got were this like not as good as stuff I already had on. So
yeah, I know, but you know what? You're still in the game, dude.
oh, I did get an awesome present though. Optimus Prime Lego set.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna set it right next to my Nintendo Lego set I got for Christmas.
That's still in the box.
Okay, I'm gonna do the Optimus one soon.
You just don't have the room for it. I get it.
Nintendo one, I don't have the space because that one I can't do in a sitting. That's gonna take a couple of like the typewriter took me 4 or 5 days to put together.
Yeah, it did.
And I finally had to just bring it upstairs and put it on the podcasting table and build it as I had time. So,
but what was the other present I got you?
Oh yes, my waist pack.
Your hip pouch.
It's a waist pack. What is it called?
Hip pouch.
I know we're not supposed to call them
hip pack.
Fanny packs like we did when we were kids.
Yeah. It's a hip pack.
Yeah.
Hip pack.
Is that what it was called where you bought it?
Yes.
Hip pack?
A hip
okay,
pack.
We'll call it that.
Anyways.
I've been wearing it nonstop.
Yeah. And I got myself a matching one. So now we have, whenever the apocalypse stops, we have matching hip packs.
Well, I'll tell the story about why this is why I've been clinging to it like a blankie, it's because when I was a kid, those were really popular, right? To have hip packs, to have fanny packs or whatever we called them. And I could never have one. Because I was always too big and they just didn't make them in larger sizes, right?
Yeah.
And so I just never was able to have one. And then you bought me a slingshot also for my birthday, but it came a little bit before.
Yeah, it was an early one.
Because, I want to learn how to shoot a slingshot because, people know
with like
that are
clay
listening.
Pellets.
Yeah, I'm pretty anti-gun, but there are times when, you do need to protect your household. I don't know how good a slingshot's going to protect, but I do know they hurt.
Yeah.
And I do know you can stop a man if you hit him in the right spot with one. But anyways, so you found a hip pack that was nice and big and beefy, like a big and tall one, so that I could put the pellets in. Right. And so I was like, oh, this is awesome. This is great. But you made it very clear that this was for pellets. And so I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm not going to wear it for day-to-day stuff. I'll just leave it for when I want to do pellets.
Right.
Little did I know that you were like making it clear a boundary for me in my brain because how my brain works. Because you were to give me one later for my birthday, for my actual birthday.
One's for business, all business, and then one's a casual one.
Yeah, and the casual one's great. It has multiple pockets. I have $15 in it, a yo-yo, a hacky sack, because you never know when that's going to break out.
You need to be prepared.
And then also I get to carry my phone, which is too big and heavy. The 13s are too big and heavy.
Yeah.
And my AirPods in the front pocket, and they don't weigh down my actual shorts pockets anymore. Yeah. And then you also got me a little octopus plushie so I can be like everything everywhere all at once. Yeah. And I have that hooked on my hip pack. And so now I feel really...
You're very dad mode.
I feel super dad mode. I don't know. I'm just going to lean into it.
Okay.
And the dad stuff. I've been telling a lot of dad jokes.
Yeah.
Like earlier. Earlier Bryce is like, hey, Dad, have you seen the dog bowl? And I said, I didn't know she could.
Well, because for Father's Day, Cameron got you a book of a bunch of dad jokes and a coffee mug that says, ask me about my dad jokes.
Yeah.
So we figured you might as well just own it.
Well, it's so good, which reminds me, I saw this thing on Twitter. People are challenging each other to name 2 structures that hold water.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, damn. Anyways, yeah, dad jokes are fun. I
Uh-huh.
think puns are the purest form of comedy for an adult to have, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of things that children think are funny and I
Uh-huh.
still think are funny.
Yeah.
And that's the true purest form of comedy. But for an adult, the most socially acceptable and purest form of comedy to me
Or
feels like
puns.
puns, right? And so dad jokes are right there, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I like them a lot. They're fun to tell. I like to tell them in a way so that people lean in and go, "Oh, this is a real story." Then hit
Yeah.
them with the punchline, and they go, "Oh." And it never fails. You guys, like every time,
time.
every time.
Except for like
I
if
can
you're
tell
shooting,
3 in a row,
if
and
you're
you guys are
doing,
still,
yeah,
huh?
exactly. If you're doing like rapid fire, like one after another, by the fourth one, we're like, come on, this is all right. We got this now. But the second one, nope. We'll still like, huh? Oh,
No, I bet
stop
you I could
it.
get up to 5 in a row without you guys catching on.
Nuh-uh.
Okay, challenge accepted. I'll get there.
Uh-oh.
I'll get there.
They're gonna get it. Yikes.
Yeah, anyways. So yeah, that's the deal.
Mm-hmm.
Turned 48.
Yay.
Yeah. Like I was really stressed out about turning 40 and I'm a little stressed out about 50 for different reasons though. And then but like the last 8 years haven't really made me feel like stressed out on my birthday.
Yeah.
You know, I'm really happy to still be here at 48,
Mm-hmm.
you know, considering almost 2 years ago I thought I was certain I wasn't going to be here
Yeah.
for 48. So
Yeah, we just hit 1.5 years.
yeah, and
Since the
120
hospital.
pounds down.
Mm-hmm.
Although I'm a little stalled out right now.
Well, that's the stress. I'm telling you, that's
There's a lot of
happening.
stressful situations happening right now, and so yeah, it's like, what are you gonna do, right?
Yeah.
And there's not a lot. There's legitimately nothing I can do other than what I am doing,
Right.
which is watching my calorie intake and having movement and like
Yeah.
trying to stay calm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so there's not a lot I can do otherwise. So things like stress, things outside of my control, cortisol, those kinds of things, I'm just gonna roll with the punches.
Yeah.
I'm not going to start gaining weight back, right?
No.
Like that's not the thing here, but I am definitely at a plateau at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have, you know, for my goal weight, I have about 80 more pounds to lose, but it might not even be that many pounds, right?
Yeah.
You know, when all said and done, I might end up somewhere else in a range, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, yeah. Still doing that. Lehu.com is down now. Artistic Outlaw replaced it.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to lehu.com, you'll get a redirect to Artistic Outlaw and an explanation over there.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody's listening is curious or cares. It was time.
Yeah.
It was time. But the whole story is on the website. I've been working on a new portfolio for my professional life.
Mm-hmm.
I got a little kick in the butt recently and a little spark of inspiration and started working on it. I've decided that, you know, there's been some upheavals at work and some org changes and stuff. And I've just decided like, you know, the best thing to do for my mental health is to just make sure that I'm always ready.
Always
Because-
be prepared.
Yeah, because with that portfolio thing, because when I got laid off at LSlab, I wasn't prepared.
Yeah.
My portfolio was woefully out of date.
Mm-hmm.
And I spent a lot of time getting it up to date so that I could get interviews and stuff like that,
Yeah.
right? But if I'd have just already had it ready to go,
Yeah.
I could have started applying right away instead of spending a couple of weeks getting it up to date, right?
Yeah.
And so this is just me wanting to always be prepared.
Yeah. Because you're a Boy Scout.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, I made it pretty far. I aged out of the system though. I think I started too late in my youth.
Mm-hmm.
But it was also not something like, it wasn't something we really could afford
Yeah.
to do. For the most part, I didn't even have a full uniform.
Mm-hmm.
I had the shirt and the bandana
Yeah.
and the patches we could afford to get. I never got a sash for my merit badges. I never got the pants.
Yeah.
Never got like cool hiking boots or anything. It's all right though. It was an interesting time of my life,
Yeah.
and I was very dedicated to the ideas around it
Mm-hmm.
that I no longer really believe in,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
I do believe like in kindness and being courteous and those kinds of things. But I don't really buy into the like other shitty Christianity and white supremacist ideals that persist in that organization.
Yeah.
I'm just rambling. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the portfolio thing.
Sorry.
So just having it up to date and having it ready to go with case studies. And then also I updated my resume for the first time in the whole career to actually have bullet points and be focused on the types of jobs. I've always just kind of like, oh, I'm going to get another job or I'm going to get another job. I'm a designer. Fuck it.
Right.
Right. I do the design stuff, like very vague. But I heard somebody say recently that like, if, design your stuff, focus your stuff around the thing you want to do. Like design your career in the same way you design things for other people.
Yeah.
Makes
sense.
Yeah. So I got my resume all locked down. You helped me with that. I got a little bit of help from folks at work too, like proofreading and like grammar corrections. And you gave me some of those. You helped me out with that.
Yeah.
And I feel really strong about it now.
Oh, good.
And now I feel like it's at a point where now I only have to add to it. I don't have to fully revamp it again.
Yeah.
Except for maybe like if the layout goes out of style or something, but that's different than writing it, right?
Exactly.
And then the portfolio, same thing. I've super highly focused on design systems. That's where I've been the last 11 years is working on design systems, systems of design, UI kits, stuff like that. So it's very much this focused, I like designing systems. Here's some of the stuff I've done. Here's 3 case studies from 3 different angles, documentation, components, and code.
Yeah.
You want to have a chat? Big old calendar button, right? And I think that's just a good thing to have on deck, right?
Right.
So, anyways, so yeah, that's where I'm at.
Nice.
That's where I'm at.
Well, we watched a couple of movies / TVs lately. We watched the new Doctor Strange movie. Did you like the new Doctor Strange movie? Strange New World or something, whatever it's called.
Yes, I do.
So you do like it?
No. So, okay. This is true of a lot of the Marvel first or second phase, first and second phase characters, with the exception of like Iron Man. I wasn't a big fan of Thor, Captain America, the Hulk.
Because you're coming from a comic book background, right? You've read
since I was a child.
Right. You've read comic books.
Yeah.
So now when they're coming out with all these movies about these characters, you know the character,
right,
but according to someone else.
Right.
Right. And so now it's a whole new thing and you go, I don't know.
Right.
Because when you think one way for so long.
Well, not necessarily that. It's just that for instance, I'll use Thor as the example because I've really come around to different on that one. But the first Thor movie and the second Thor movie, Thor and then Thor the Dark World, I did not like those movies. I did not like that Thor character.
Oh, no.
I didn't like Thor in the comic books either because I just thought like, oh, they're just stealing this from mythology, from Norse mythology. Big deal. Who fucking cares? And they're just putting a little spaceman spin on it.
Yeah, Norse folklore, we call it now.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry. And I just didn't care for it. And the movies didn't change my mind. And I was like, whatever. But then Thor Ragnarok came out. And this has a lot to do with the director, who I'm a big fan of. And I'm not going to try to pronounce his name because I don't want to offend him. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, we'll have Bryce say the name so that way it'll get pronounced correctly.
But he did something with Thor that made me go, this is my favorite Marvel character, hands down.
Yeah.
And part of that is Chris Hemsworth's performance, because who'd have thunk that guy could do comedy, right?
Yeah.
But then you also have Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie, which is...
I love her. Can I just say I love her? I think that she would be an amazing Wonder Woman.
Yes.
An amazing Wonder Woman.
Yes.
I love her in almost everything she does. I
have not seen her in a movie where I wasn't like completely drawn in.
Yeah.
Just what do you have to say?
Yeah. She seems very like authentic and genuine with her characters.
Yeah, and when I've seen her do like interviews and stuff too, it carries over.
Yeah, she seems like a sweetheart.
I'm so glad we're on the same page, because I was going to tell you the other day, but then I was like, no, I don't want you to like feel like I was saying I'm crushing on her.
No,
because it's
I'm crushing on her. Can I
Okay.
say that?
Absolutely.
I think about how great of a character she would be for Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I think that would be amazing.
Yeah. I 100% agree with that. And I am crushing on her, but not in like a physical
Right.
attractive way,
Yeah.
like, but just like so admire what she's doing with those characters.
Yeah.
And all the characters she's played that I've seen her in. I'm sure maybe she's got a dud movie I've never heard of or something. All actors have bad work, right?
Yeah.
Like that's nobody bats 1,000 ever in anything. But like adore that. And then you have Kate Blanchett as Hela.
Or Hell. Yeah.
Or yeah, as Hell. What the fuck?
Yeah. Amazing. That's
Like,
a great movie.
She's so good at it. And when she catches the fucking
I just
Mjolnir and crushes it.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, she's badass.
Right. I just think that he gave it such a different perspective
Yeah.
of lightheartedness and sibling competition and all the like.
Yeah.
It's very, very, very well done.
He took it to the next level for
Yeah.
sure. And so I am beyond excited.
Now you're measuring every other thing to that.
I am. And I'm beyond excited for Love and Thunder, which we haven't been able to watch it because it's still in theaters. But
Yeah.
but then so Doctor Strange.
Okay.
So the first Doctor Strange comes out, and I was like, you weren't interested at all because of
Tilda Swinton.
Tilda Swinton.
She's in everything. I don't get it, but
yeah,
it's
you're not
fine.
a big fan of her, but that's okay.
It's okay. I still liked that first movie
Right.
because Benedict Cumberbatch did such a great job with the
Right.
character. I have not read any comic books. And so I'm coming from a completely different background
Yeah.
and I'm just watching a movie because it's a new and it's a fun and I like movies.
Yeah. But I watched it on my own first because nobody else had any interest.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I'll just watch it. I sometimes will put on a movie while I'm coding or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched it and I was like blown away. I was like, no, this is actually great.
Yeah.
And so I started digging a little bit more on Doctor Strange, and it's a pretty cool character. But then I was pretty excited for Multiverse of Madness. And I did like the movie. I still do like Doctor Strange as a character. The only complaint I have about that movie is that I really feel like they misused Wanda's pain.
Mm-hmm.
Wanda Maximoff, right?
Yes.
Scarlet Witch's pain. And they were
This is
leading
my
us.
problem with it too.
Yeah, they were leading us into that clearly with the WandaVision show, which was great.
Mm-hmm.
But then we get to this movie and they really they kind of reduce her to just an angry woman.
Emotional
Angry woman, right? And it's like, no, but there's so much more depth here, which you don't really get to see. And this spoiler, of course, you don't get to see the depth till the very end tendrils of the movie. And it's not enough because they've spent the whole movie going, oh, look at the angry woman acting up.
Right. And
That's not really what happened,
No,
but that's what it feels like. That's the vibe.
Generally what it is
Yeah.
that she's destroying everything
Yeah.
for something that's not even really real,
Yeah.
but it feels real to her, which
Yeah.
I get. And as a woman, I get emotional too.
Right.
Side story.
All human beings, though, really quickly, I just want to, all human beings get emotional. It's not a woman thing to get emotional, right? Like,
Right. I get that. But I think women are better at expressing it.
yes.
I
100%.
think men they'll try to walk away or they'll slam like it gets
People who
it
are
gets
in
cr-
touch with their feminine side or their femininity have an easier time expressing emotion.
Mm-hmm.
And then people who feel boxed in by masculinity box that in, right?
Yeah.
They're like, no, I'm not going to act out or I'm not going to act up. I'm not going to express,
Yeah.
right? Because, real men don't cry, all that bullshit, right? Yeah.
Right. So back to my side story.
Sorry.
I ordered chocolate bars
Oh.
in
I didn't know this was the side story.
Yes.
This is great.
I ordered chocolate bars and I'm not a dumb person, but sometimes I just get ahead of myself. It's the middle of fucking July and I'm ordering chocolate in the mail. Anyways, the last time I ordered it, it came and it was fine. The post person brought it to the door. It was fine. I got it in time. This time the person shoved it in the mailbox. So it had been sitting in 90+ degree heat for who knows how long. And when we poured it out, we poured it out of each little package. And I saw red. I saw like things flying in the air. I didn't know
Yeah, it was
how.
completely melted.
I did not know how. I did not know how this person could be so dumb.
You're still very
I'm
angry.
still very angry because I'll post a picture. It has on it a big, ginormous sticker that says, you know, keep away
Protect
from
from
heat,
heat, yeah.
protect from heat. And it's got okay, fine. The person might not know how to read. It had a sun on it with like, you know what I mean?
It had pictograms.
What I'm saying to you is,
Yeah.
I saw myself turn into a scarlet witch for a second.
Mm.
Now, with that said, I get the pain and the madness and the craziness, the wildness of this person.
Right.
But they spent so much time like getting so mad. And then the last 2 minutes, then it was everything kind of fell into place. And then we understood, which I don't know, it just went on for too long. And I don't like the whole idea of, oh, it's just this, you know, wild, emotional woman. I don't like that part.
No, I didn't like that at all.
They're doing it in the Umbrella Academy, the newest season also.
Oh, with Allison, yeah.
With Allison, they're making her a wild, emotional woman. And now she's doing things that she has never, ever done or even thought about doing. Most of the time, she's the person of reason in the whole group. Yeah. But no, not this time. This time, she's the villain, which maybe that's a good contrast. But I just don't like it. I don't like that whole thing.
Both of these are centered around children too, which is another level of misogyny, right? It's like, oh, the anger is stemmed from, you know,
either
her
can't have
motherly instinct, and she can't help it because it's not good. I don't like it. It's bad.
It's bad storytelling. I don't like that part either.
I was gonna say bad writing, but it's not really bad writing as much as it's bad storytelling. But yeah, I didn't like it.
In a world where you can do anything, right? You can make anything up with a superhero movie, or a group of 6 people with superpowers. You can make anything up, anything,
right?
But they're going back to a human female emotion that's based around having to be a mother. It's kind of it's been done. Let's think of something else so that we're not triggering people.
Yeah, there's that whole, what is it, hysterical woman trope.
Right. That's exactly what I'm saying.
It's unnecessary to use anymore, and especially as you're saying, in something where the whole world is imaginary.
Yeah.
You don't have to, you can ground that character in different ways to make them feel like they're in our reality without using these like outdated tropes that are just, I don't want to watch, right? Mm-hmm. I will say that aside, the rest of the movie felt okay to me. It was a Sam Raimi movie though. It wasn't a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Right? It felt a little disconnected. Mm-hmm. Multiverse of Madness. It felt a little disconnected to me. It was fine on its own, a standalone thing. Mm-hmm. Totally fine.
But he's working in different realities at any given time also. So it really doesn't.
Sam Raimi.
No, the Doctor Strange himself, right?
Right. No, yeah, that's not what, it's not really a complaint. It just feels like it didn't really have any congruency with the stuff that came before it that was supposed to tie into it. Like No Way Home Spider-Man and the WandaVision TV show were both supposed to lead into that. And also a little bit Loki was setting up the multiverse, right? Mm-hmm. But then we just get Doctor Strange and America Chavez, which is a cool character that they didn't really explore. And they just kind of made her a side character. Mm-hmm. And also the target, inexplicably the target of Wanda's rage. Yeah. Other than maybe, I guess because she could open portals, right? That's probably why she wanted her take her power. But so they have them two just bouncing around for special effects, mm-hmm. and then Wanda just burning a path through the whole center of the story plot line. And there was some cool events that happened, right? Like I liked the whole Illuminati mm-hmm. bit because I just thought it was cool to see. Oh, they're saying that Charles Xavier, as played by Patrick Stewart, is not from this mm-hmm. universe. He's from a different universe, but so X-Men exist, but just we haven't met them yet.
Yeah.
That was cool. Getting to see Peggy Carter as Captain Carter was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Who else was there? Oh,
John
Black
Krasinski.
Bolt. Yeah, John Krasinski as Reed Richards, the Fantastic Four. That's kind of cool because that was a fan casting that everybody's like, yeah, we want him to do that. And they're just saying, here you go, but this isn't the real Reed Richards either, right?
Exactly.
But he's a great actor. But then Black Bolt, played by, I don't know the actor's name, but he's also the Anson Mount. Is that his name? He plays Pike on the Star Trek.
Oh, yeah.
Is that Anson Mount? Is that his name?
I don't know if that's his name.
It sounds right to me.
Okay, let's go.
He plays Black Bolt. Black Bolt Beauregard. He's a guy who can just decimate people with a whisper.
Oh, yes.
He's like super powerful in the comic books, like mega powerful in the comic books. And then the way that they quote unquote kill him in this was pretty ingenious. But, you know, that's one piece of the whole movie.
Yeah.
So overall, I didn't hate the movie. I did hate the treatment of Wanda, but I did like the Raimi-esque-ness of it. I guess in a nutshell, that's my opinion on the Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
So I'll say one more thing and then I'll change the subject.
Okay.
I would burn the world down too if it led a path straight to my kids. I would do anything and everything to make sure that they were okay. Yeah. Also, that touch, that was a good touch, but I just wanted that sooner and like way more time. Because if they would have done it a little sooner, they could have given it more time to breathe. Yeah. That way we would have understood exactly what that meant. And also just with the tone of the world right now, and it was coming off.
Yeah, that's like part of it, right?
The Roe v. Wade decision. It was just like, okay, well, we have to understand that we always get this, in my point of view, we always get this, well, a woman wants to always be a mother and to be a wife. Well, not every person wants to be a mother. Right. And we have to understand that. We have to get that. And
you didn't for a long time, right?
I didn't, no. Yeah. But because it was you, then I felt like I could do it. It was originally because I felt like I didn't want to pass down my cursed genes and I didn't know how. I didn't have an example of all of that. And so I didn't know how to be a good mother, and I didn't know if I, was going to be capable of all that too. Right. So I talked myself out of it. Yeah. But then it was you. And then I was like, well, it's you and me against the world. And you make me more confident and make me feel like more me than anyone else ever has.
Except for when I do Jim Carrey facial impressions.
Except when you think you can do every Jim Carrey face in his catalog. And I just can't even express to you how not, unless you say, okay, if you say to me, this is the face I'm doing, then maybe, yes, I could get it. But if you're just around there doing weird faces, I'm not going to get that it's Jim Carrey. Okay? You don't have the perfect Andy Kaufman face, pal. I'm sorry, but I love you so much.
My favorite part of that whole bit is that
it feels like you are Andy Kaufman, sure, but you're not.
No, my favorite part of the bit is that I don't look anything like Jim Carrey.
No, but you feel like you are inside, which is just adorable.
It's all a bit.
Can you shut up?
The whole thing's a bit.
Shut it.
The whole thing's a bit. But I love doing it so much.
But so back to the chocolate thing, I sat down for a while and I was so mad that I just stopped talking to everyone. Right. And then our oldest comes up to me and he goes, can I do anything for you? Can I get you a bagel? And I'm like, oh, and I jumped up and I ran into the kitchen and I whipped open the baking pantry and I got my molds, my chocolate candy molds.
What triggered that you, like, what did he say that triggered it? Just bagel?
I don't know. No, it wasn't a bagel. It was just that he got me to stop thinking about the thing that was pissing me off so badly. Yeah. And it just relaxed my brain just enough to go, how do I fix it? Yeah. What do I do with melted chocolate? Right?
What do we do with melted chocolate? Why did you say that so fast?
I got my candy molds and I opened every
Nice.
fucking package
Yeah.
and I poured it into the candy molds.
I personally think the chocolate tastes better in the shape of a frog.
I know you're like, is this the last frog we have? And yes, all my candy molds are either skulls or frogs.
Or you have turtles too,
I have
right?
turtles too,
Yep.
I guess. But God damn, if you order chocolate in July and it comes melted, get some candy molds
Yeah.
and then it'll fix your fucking problem.
You're Lewis Black. You're Lewis Black for a
I
second.
was so mad. I was so mad. I was like, I'll just go sit in my car with the air conditioning on and wait for that gosh damn person and give him a talking to.
You were gonna give a talking to
You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Person.
All right, I'm going to change the subject
Okay.
here for a minute, and I'm going to go.
Wait, you didn't say overall. How did you feel about
I liked
Doctor
it.
Strange?
I liked it.
Okay.
But I just, that
same complaint?
yes.
Yeah.
If I really did like the movie overall because of the characters and the how they were all coming together and how he was softening his heart for the young girl and stuff like that. I get all that. I like all that.
But you also like Cucumber Patch as an actor too, so that helps, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do. In Sherlock, he is fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
I love that show. The only thing is like during the tone of the world and then in a sci-fi situation, you can do anything.
Yeah.
Do anything.
Yeah.
Do anything. Just don't make it the woman's fault.
Right. Yeah.
Let's say.
Agreed. Okay.
Anyways,
Boom. Next subject.
last week we were talking about Stranger Things.
Yes.
And I was bad mouthing a band that starts with an M and ends in Italica. And then I was like, this guy who was in this band left because he was being mistreated and they kicked his dog and
Yeah.
Dave Mustaine. And but it turns out
Yeah.
I
He's
got-
not a nice.
I got
man.
my research partner in on this.
Yeah.
And my research partner found out that Dave Mustaine is probably not such a nice guy
No,
anyways.
He's not.
So lesson learned, boo on my bad part.
Right.
I'm sure that everyone everywhere is an asshole at least 4 times in their lifetime.
But also, just to
you
be
know what I mean?
just to be clear, when you were bad mouthing Metallica last week or last episode, you weren't saying that people who like Metallica are shitty because I like Metallica. You were just joking around and saying, Metallica sucks because, they kicked a dog, right? You weren't saying that band sucks. You were mad about the dog incident.
Right.
Right.
Right. And at one point in my life when I grew up in the 90s, it was all about Metallica this, Metallica that, and I just got sick of it.
Yeah.
Right? I don't like that band. Don't like that band. So it kind of
Well,
turned
you don't
me
like
off
the
of
music,
metal.
right? Yeah.
I turned it off. I turned my brain off of metal completely
completely.
until we have a kid that really likes it. Right?
Yeah.
And so then now I'm getting text messages and here, listen to this song and listen to this and listen to that. And now I like some things, but I'm not going to like the M band. Everyone is an asshole at least 4 times in their lifetime, at least. Okay.
More than
I'm an
that.
asshole a lot,
Yeah.
way more than 4 times, but I didn't mean to offend Metallica fans. If you like Metallica, but unfortunately, that was just a wrong pick for the song. The character would not have picked a Metallica song. I'm sorry. I will die on this hill after I have kicked the Duffer Brothers in the balls.
I do. You're just digging yourself. Okay, listen. I do agree that there's probably better songs than Master of Puppets that could have worked as
I
well, if
know.
not better, in that scene.
But like I said, I can't draw a line between real and not real sometimes when it comes to movies and characters that I like.
No, but what I'm saying is like that song fit
Yeah,
plot
I get that.
and the character that they were playing or fighting against,
Yeah,
right? That's all.
yeah,
That's why that song works there.
sure.
I'm not saying that was the best choice or anything like
Yeah,
that.
but that was a 90s kids song.
And I only like Metallica because
an
I
80s
grew
kid.
up listening to Metallica and other metal
Of
bands.
course.
I don't like the actions of any of the people in the band, but I don't
Right.
like the actions of any
Anyone. That's what I'm saying. Everyone can be an asshole. I'm an
Right.
asshole right now. So it's fine.
We
It's
tend to
gotta be
uplift
fine.
people who create art,
Yeah.
which is not necessarily a bad thing to do, but they fuck up a lot just like the rest of the humanity does.
Exactly. My
And-
bad.
And yeah, and so it's, you go for me, a lot of the times I just go, okay, well, I'm enjoying the art. If you do something super egregious, like I have no room or tolerance for Nazis, right? Or like, pedophilia or any of the really major shitty things. But if you're just yelling at somebody in public or something, or you like kicked a guy to the band, kicking dogs is not cool.
Yeah, don't do that.
But there's a lot of
Don't do
shitty
that.
shit that people do that's just like, at the end of the day, not that big of a deal. But there is stuff that is like definite deal breakers for me. I
Yeah.
will stop. Like, you're out,
Mhm.
right? Like
Yeah.
finding out all this stuff about the Red Hot Chili Peppers, which is, can I say it's just terrifying to me that I've gone so many years without knowing all of the egregious shit that they've pulled.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
But-
heartbreaking because I grew up again with Red Hot Chili Peppers, but to the point where I was a big fan of Red Hot Chili
Yeah.
Peppers.
And like it's even in his own words in his book that he wrote about. I
Yeah,
don't know what to do with that.
it's gross. It's really fucked up.
Anyways, I'm just saying.
My point is you just can't
You can't
yeah.
really put everyone or anyone on a pedestal because,
You shouldn't,
and also
yeah.
don't meet your heroes because that's going to be a bad thing too.
agreed.
Yeah.
We all make mistakes. We all fuck up.
Yeah.
The difference is like when it's pointed out to you, what do? right?
Exactly.
When
Or semi pointed out.
do you continue, right?
Yeah.
Do you continue doing the same behaviors over and over again? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But I want to say like everything that we talk about on this is just
Just a
us
bit-
having a conversation.
Yeah. And
It's
everyone's.
not us trying to say, hey, if you don't believe the way we believe, you suck,
well,
because that's
absolutely. Yes.
not the case at
exactly.
all.
All right. All right. What's your
anyways.
Vecna song? Let's hear it.
Oh, so I've been thinking about this last week. And
This is the new trend. What's your Vecna song?
so at first, before I found out about the Red Hot Chili Peppers, which was like last week, it was going to be Aeroplane
Oh,
by them.
yikes.
Because
yeah.
I love that song. I still love that song, but
I know. Under the
fuck those
Bridge was
guys.
like my
Yeah.
go-to, but screw that. I'm not.
So I've been thinking about it this week, and I've listened to, I've tested out some songs, and I think, and this is a little bit embarrassing
Uh-oh,
because
here it comes.
I actually don't know if this person's a good person or not either.
I don't know.
I'm just gonna assume everyone's a
Just
shithead
do
now.
a TBD. Go ahead.
For now.
Uh-huh. In this moment.
Forever in Blue Jeans by Neil Diamond.
Whoa. It can get you out of a
Yes, because it is one song
forever in blue jeans.
that whenever it comes on and you get that starting bass line
Mhm.
just
But what the fuck
picks my mood
is
right
Baby's Treat, James?
up. You know what Baby's Treat is.
Ew. Why does he have that in a song?
I don't know. Everybody sings about it.
Ew.
Everybody sings about vaginas.
Don't even get me started. Next week on this podcast, we are going to talk about this documentary we just
Oh.
watched.
No.
Yes, we are, because
Okay.
that's a problem.
All right.
It's a problem.
Okay. But it makes me irrationally angry the way they were pronouncing things. So Forever in Blue Jeans, just because it picks me up.
Yeah.
The,
Unlike Vecna.
the lyrical content is bad, unfortunately, because it really is about like,
Yeah.
coercing a woman into
Dude,
making
what
love
is-
next to the fire or whatever.
Dude,
I think
this is a bad
that's
choice.
that's what I'm taking it as, but it feels like that's what he's doing, right? Like it's kind of like
Yeah,
that one Christmas song where the two people sing to each other and he's like clearly not letting her leave.
oh, baby, it's cold outside.
Yeah. That's
She's like, I
problematic.
really should go. And he's
Yeah.
like, oh, it's cold outside.
Yes, I'll stick around.
Yeah, but that's kind of like a dude trope as well. It's like, come on, baby,
It
baby.
doesn't make it okay.
No,
though,
it doesn't make
right?
it
They do it
okay.
it's in everything.
Yeah,
It's pervasive because misogyny is pervasive.
yeah.
But
It's just the
beat of the song,
yeah, the music.
and the melody and the cadence,
hmm
right?
Yeah, but maybe you could change it.
Baby, tonight by the fire, all alone, you and I, right? Like
Right.
that. Just something about that boom, 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 boom.
Yes.
It brings me up, and so I feel like I feel like that would help get me out of there. If not that song, right? If not that song, the other song would be Psycho Killer by the Talking Heads.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice. That's a good one.
Yeah. Again, I don't know if David Byrne is a nice person or not.
I'll get the research team in on it.
It's you know what I hate? I just want to like a thing and not
but
have
you
to
know
judge it based on the actions of an asshole.
Yeah, well.
But we don't get to do that, right?
No.
That's not something we get to do anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are the two songs that I'm looking at. What's your Vecna song?
So I've had a lot of I like a lot of music. That's the problem. It's like, here, pick your favorite movie. I don't know. I have a list. But right now, my Vecna song is Leave Me Alone by Culture Wars.
I've never heard that.
It's a great song.
Culture Wars?
Yeah. It's just like, leave me alone, leave me alone, leave me alone.
Yeah, I have heard that song.
Yeah, I blasted it in the kitchen quite a lot.
No, I've heard that song.
Mm-hmm.
That reminds me, and I meant to show you and Liam this, but Lisa on Twitter tweeted about, she found on the Clock app, she found this black female guitarist from Atlanta who's in a heavy metal band named Diamond Rowe, and she fucking shreds.
Ooh.
Like, it's transcendent. Like,
cool.
I was like, I tweeted as like, her playing is transcendental. And then I came back and I said, no, playing is too soft a word. This is like magic, whatever the fuck she's doing.
Nice.
So then I went to go listen to her band. She's just the guitarist of the band, and it's got a white guy as the singer. But I don't know. The guitar on the whole album is amazing.
Yeah.
I don't like the voice of the singer very much, but the songs aren't bad.
Yeah.
I just don't appreciate his singing voice. You know how sometimes like somebody's singing voice, and it doesn't mean they're a good or a bad singer.
It's just not your jam.
You like you like the way they sing.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's a lot of singers throughout history that are not technically great singers, but they have nice voices.
Yeah.
And a lot of times in especially for me in hip hop music, if you've got a good voice, that's like a huge portion of whether or not I'm going to enjoy what you're saying.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's relative, so it's appealing to you.
Right. Yeah.
That's what's cool about music, is that there's so much out there that you'll never be able to listen to it all. But when something really catches your ear, and then catches, like, there's I have watched every episode of the Peaky Blinders, and there's this really beautiful song during a funeral scene, and it's In This Heart by Sinead O'Connor. I had never heard this song before in my 43 years of life, but I adore it. It's like...
Has it existed for all 43 years?
Oh, it's at least half of it, bro. It's an older song.
Okay.
But she has a beautiful voice, and it's just a beautiful, like, sad kind of funeral-y song.
Yeah.
But it's amazing. I never would have thought, a Sinead O'Connor song would hit me right in the heart.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It's a good song.
That's what I love about music. Is like anything can touch you in those moments.
And it's okay for you to not like all of it, right?
Yeah,
like there's some that you're not going to like. I don't like Tool.
Everyone's entitled to the wrong opinion.
The wrong opinion.
I
thought you were saying own, but you said wrong opinion. There's a song that plays in the season or the series finale of Sons of Anarchy, which I've watched that show through twice. Not because I think I don't like the glamorization of motorcycle clubs is,
it's been done.
Problematic, but I've always been very drawn to outlaw culture. So like, I'm drawn to that. But anyways, the song at the end of that, when he rides his spoilers, if you haven't seen this, but he rides into the sunset, air quotes. It's like Come Fly Away with Black. And they're talking about crows.
Yeah.
Join the murder. And this, oh my God. And I've heard the song before when I watched it the first time, but it didn't hit me. The second time I watched it through and then that song played, I was like, that is so haunting.
Yeah.
And perfect for this what's going on
Scene,
right now.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, my point is that sometimes you can hear a song and be like, meh. And then sometime
Life
later,
happens.
your
and you
life has
change.
changed and it gets under your
Yeah.
skin a little bit different.
It's great how that happens.
Yeah. Big fan of Harry Styles currently.
Yeah.
Me personally.
They're pretty cool.
They are?
The Harry Styles.
Harry Styles is one person.
I know. I don't know why I said they, but yes.
Oh, I thought
like
you were
Harry-
telling me that they went by they now.
No, I don't think so. But he does. Everyone's calling it gender bending, and he's just like, no, it's just style, dude. So
Oh, when he
I
wore
like
a
it.
dress and stuff.
I like
he-
referring to people as they because I don't know personally, right?
That's a good no. That's a good yeah. I've been doing that recently when I don't know for sure
Yeah.
because I embarrassed myself at the Publix that one time.
To Publix one time.
Yeah, we were talking to the bag person, and then the other the checkout person said this, and I said, "Oh yeah, she gets it," and pointed at the bag person because they were femme, right? But they also were ambiguous, and
that's what I'm saying. You
and
just
then
never.
we got outside, and you're like, I don't think I don't think that person goes by she.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God. Because like I didn't mean that, right?
Exactly. But it's all in how, like, for the most part of
Yeah.
our lives, we weren't taught those things. We
Yeah.
weren't taught those generosity things
Courtesies, yeah.
that you just like, you know.
I'm just trying to be more careful about how I talk.
Exactly.
Like
Me too.
I think through like even saying like, what's up, man? Like
Mhm.
that's something I've grown up saying because like,
Yeah. But I use
you know,
dude as, you know.
right. But again, I think about it. Like I go, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say man in this situation. Cause like, even though all my life I've always called everyone dude or man.
I think it's just how you approach it.
Part of it is growing up in the 90s in California,
Exactly.
right? But also, and you know, calling everybody by their last name or dude. But I don't
use
want to.
dude for ladies all the time.
Yeah, I've always liked the insult asshole as opposed to bitch because it's very.
Yeah, I like dogs.
It's asshole is gender neutral though, right? So
Right.
like you can just call anybody that.
Mhm.
But when you call like a guy a bitch, it's a misogynistic insult, right? Because you're saying, oh, you're like a girl.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. Which
And then
isn't
when you
cool.
call a woman that, you're saying, oh, you're like a dog.
Which I find very offensive.
So very offensive, right? And so,
We just need to be more careful.
right. Or saying like son of a bitch, you know, those
Yeah.
kinds of things. I feel like they're just a little bit
Even
too
though-
far, right?
Even though if you're calling someone an asshole, you're probably in the wrong a little bit anyways. But
Yeah. If you're at the point where you
Just-
have to say to somebody, shut up, asshole.
just generalize your insults
Yeah.
and your greetings.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I've stopped
if
saying.
I don't know personally what the person wants, then I'll just say they. It doesn't matter. It's more
Yeah.
universal, I think.
I agree. And a lot of my work and currently in design systems has been around inclusivity.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been doing a lot of research and study on words and language and how those things can be harmful
Mhm.
in small settings and in large settings.
Yeah.
And like even stuff that, you know, everybody goes, hey guys, right? Like that's a
Right.
very common intro
Mhm.
to videos, to meetings,
Yeah.
right? And it has become common enough parlance that it means everybody,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't really. It still is excluding more than half of the population
Yeah.
who doesn't identify as a guy,
That's right.
right? And
Yeah.
so I've been saying y'all,
Mm-hmm.
which is super inclusive,
And super Tennessee of you.
or folks,
Folks.
right?
But you can't, if you're going to say the folks one, you can't pronounce the L.
I just pronounce it so that because
Oh, I get it.
people can't.
I
But
get
yeah,
it.
I don't normally say
Yeah.
it. But that one, I feel I save that for certain groups
Mm-hmm.
that skew older because it feels older
Yeah.
than y'all. But
Is
y'all,
it just weird not to say everybody? Hey, everybody.
No, that's perfectly fine too.
Oh,
except
okay.
for I think the reason that a lot of people have used "Hey guys" is because it's short,
Oh, okay.
right? "Hey everybody" is more syllables, and
Oh
and
my
in
gosh.
business at least, and then on the internet,
Heaven forbid.
everything is, oh, we got to move fast. And we don't have a lot of time. And you don't
whole-
have a lot of time to get their attention.
It's a whole different culture,
Yeah.
that business culture.
Yeah.
It's a whole different one. I don't.
It's not the
beast.
funnest. It's not the funnest thing.
Mm-mm.
Oh, I was telling you that earlier. So the job's at 10, but everything you make is viewed through a subjective lens.
Nice.
Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so I've just been thinking about it a lot and trying to correct my own language, but I slip up. I hear myself slipping up, quite often.
Yeah.
But I'm making a conscious effort to try to be more conscious about how I'm communicating with people so that I'm not inadvertently excluding somebody, because my intent is not exclusion, but my language can sometimes have that impact and I don't want it to.
Yeah. And we have these like habits that just kind of, run out of our mouths sometimes.
Yeah. The whole can't teach an old dog new tricks is bullshit. But there is some truth to it in that it's really hard to break.
It's hard to break habits.
Yeah. So, anyways,
when he's a 10, but he thinks he looks like Jim Carrey.
Wait, what's the other one that you told me earlier? She's a 10, but oh, man.
No, I said she's a 5.
No, but what was the rest of it?
She can't draw eyes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The
new merch drop someday soon.
Oh, yeah. We're definitely going to do. I definitely want to take those things that you've created and turn them into something, stickers or T-shirts or something, because honestly, I think they're adorable and I think really they would be popular.
Okay. We'll see.
I believe it to be true.
The 4 people that are listening, we'll see.
There's at least 15 at this point.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Don't say it. All right. Anyways.
All right. Did you have anything else that you wanted to talk about?
That's it.
Okay. Well, I guess I love you then.
I guess I love you back.
If you enjoyed this episode of the Lou and Me podcast, subscribe on iTunes, YouTube, or Spotify.
And follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Lou and Me Podcast.
Lou and Me is a Matthiasaurus production, produced and edited by Moose. The song is No Carpets by The New Forevers, hosted by Lou and me.
Thanks for listening.